friend. Pull up a chair. Been looking forward to spending some creative time together today. Before I start though, let's light the candle. This is another one of those candles that's burning in a wonky manner, but I'm not sure why. Oh, you know what? I am sure why. You can't see it, but it's like way down over on the side and high on that side. I bet it's because of that time when I accidentally knocked it over. I bet I melted like this side of it from knocking it over. Well, I don't know how to fix that, but for now, it's fine. It's all good. Now I need this page. Let's see. Today is the 11th. How's your week starting out? Got any plans? I don't have much myself. My kid's got, I think, this week and next week of summer vacation left before she starts school again. So she's pretty excited about that. I think she pretty much hates summer. She thinks it's boring. She'd rather be at school with her friends. Okay, I think we're gonna go with this color. And I'm just doing my, forgot to zoom you in, just doing my gratitude page right now real quick. What do I want to be grateful for today? I'll be grateful for the leaves and blue skies. Sometimes I have stuff in mind that I want to put down based on, events of the day or whatever. Sometimes I have to think really hard, and sometimes I use what's around me that I really appreciate. Like this little leaf. I don't know where it came from. I just found it on the floor. So probably the dog brought it in because the puppy likes to bring in leaves and sticks. But it's cute and it's little and it's small enough to fit in my journal. So that's where that's going. And then the blue skies is because yesterday we did our weekly ATV trip. And it was really dark and cloudy and sprinkly at times for, I don't know, probably 2/3 of the ride or more. And then, but by the time we were headed home, partially home, not too long after we got ourselves lost, it turned bright blue skies. So that was cool. We at least got some sunshine. That was nice. So that's today's. And then, I don't remember what the last page was. That's our Friffle hunt, which I have not worked on yet, except for that first one that we did when we started it. There we go. Today, I'm not sure what we're gonna get through, but I have a page I wanna do for nature. And then I have these friffles that I collected. I wanted to see if we could do something creative with. And then I have a new idea for a project, but it's gonna take me a little while probably. Well, you know what? I might as well actually tell you about it. So I have this idea. I'm trying to create a Pinterest for the Friffle Table, and I picked out what I want for boards already, and board names. I haven't actually done anything on Pinterest with it other than, create the account and set it up. And I had the idea, I know back in the day, it's been a while since I've been doing stuff with socials and stuff, but I was thinking back in the day, people used to create a pin with a fancy picture or whatever that was their board names. And so that when somebody was on their Pinterest profile, it looked kind of pretty with, matching board names and whatnot. And I don't necessarily want matching, but I had an idea, And what I want to do is I want to take and make 8x8 pieces of paper, and I want to do like a journal page, like scrapbooky kind of page with the board title on it, and then make one of those for every single board and photograph it and then use that as the pin. So the pin picture will be of the paper that I made. So I thought that would be kind of cool. Like you're physically making your online board covers, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But that's a big project. But I was thinking of picking one of the boards to start on today and see how that goes. But let's start with the nature page. We're just gonna put it right here. Ta-da. I'm not going to do anything. Am I not going to do anything? I'm trying to decide whether I want to actually decorate this page. I might want to find some kind of a neutral paper to put on it to like background it. Let's start there. Okay, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm friffling underneath the table. Going through. What about brown? Yeah, don't like it. Looking for some scrap paper that'll work. That has a really cool texture. That would have been really cool. All right, let's see what other color might go good. It needs to be plainish. All right, so I don't have a scrap that's gonna go because I don't have plain in the color. So I'm gonna move my chair around. And I am now looking through. I feel like I'm talking directly into the mic, so if I am, I apologize. But I'm looking through, next to me I have 8x8, 8x8, yeah, I got that on my brain. Letter-sized paper that's solid colors. So I'm just seeing if I have anything here that would work. I had a dark brown, but that's too meh. Let's go with this off-white, I guess. That'll work. It's not my favorite, but it'll work. Okay. Oh, is this cardstock? Oh, it is cardstock. What do you know? And then, do I want? Nah. Okay. Let's just go with this off-white. That'll work. Sorry, I have like the world's squeakiest chair too. Let's make a background. What are you doing for a creative thing today? I feel like I'm cutting this wrong. I think it needs to go this way. I don't remember my dimensions, so we're gonna eyeball it. And then I think it was like 9.5 maybe. Oh, you know what? I have it written down. Why not just look? 6 1/4 and 9 3/4. So if it's 11, that means I need to cut off 1 1/4. So 1 1/4. Okay. And then this needs to go to right about there. That was a little over. That's okay. Now let's test this before I go on to my second one. It's good enough once I round the corners. So This needs to be cut. No, this needs to be cut this way at 1 1/4. Our ATV trip yesterday was pretty interesting. We went the furthest we've ever gone. We were attempting to get to a waterfall area, but some of the trails are closed that go more directly towards that direction. So we had to use the like loop around section, and that one is way longer. So we didn't actually make it there because we still had quite a ways to go to make it there. But we saw some cool things. We saw some windmills. Those were like non-naturey things, but we were driving through logging roads, logging camps, I guess. I don't know what they're called. Logging areas anyway. And actually I didn't realize that someone was right there, and I went in front of a giant logging truck. That was scary because he was coming out of a driveway that I didn't know was a driveway because it was in between 2 stacks of logs that were on the side of the road. Yeah. Luckily I wasn't going too fast, so it was fine, but we were very lost at that point. And I thought we were headed in the right direction. Turns out I was right, but for a moment there, we were lost. I didn't know where we had gone wrong. We saw a hawk. Hawk flew out in front of me on one of the spots. Near-ish the beginning, like, I don't know, in the first hour, we saw a deer, like full on standing in the middle of our trail deer, which was really awesome. I love seeing the deer, but this one was huge. I would have said it was a boy, except it didn't have no antlers. I don't know if maybe it was just a young one that didn't grow antlers yet or what, but it was the biggest deer I've ever seen, hands down. It was huge. But now that I've said all that, the most exciting thing for me, because I have been looking for this all season. Like all season, I had it in my head, I want to see a moose. And I have seen moose on signs. I have seen moose sculptures. I have seen moose in trail names. I've seen moose in ATV club names and logos. But I had not seen a real moose until yesterday. I got to see a real moose. It was huge, but it was little. As in, for a moose, it was little. So it must have been a young moose. But it was bigger than the deer. So there's that. But the sad part is I, slammed on the brakes so I didn't hit the moose. And then I sat there and watched the moose, and with my jaw on the floor instead of actually getting my camera and taking a picture, and he ran away very quickly. So I did not get a picture of my moose, and that's really sad. However, I got to see the moose, so I am one very happy person for that. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting to see a moose. That was like the one thing I wanted out of this summer, was to see a real moose. I've lived in Maine my whole life, and I have never seen a real moose. I saw a something at a very far away distance when I was a kid, and the people around me said it was a moose, but I couldn't tell that it was a moose, so that one doesn't really count. So that was pretty much the highlight of my whole summer right there. Saw my moose. It fits. Oh, I probably should have put one in the middle, but that's okay. Too late now. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I was complaining about this tape that I'm using right now and how I didn't want to use it anymore because I really like the refillable tape runner that I have, and it's the best thing ever. And that is still 100% true. However, I figured this is a big piece, so I might as well fight with the tape deck for the big pieces of tape that I need instead of wasting my tape runner. Trying to be a teensy bit frugal here. Okay. There we go. Okay, now my goal for this, and I don't really want to call it a goal, but, and I don't really have a plan entirely, but I thought it would just be cool to collect my little pieces of nature and just glue them in and just have it like covered in nature, two sides covered in nature. So that's what we're going to do. And so to start with, I'm going to glue this guy in. And I think he touches at the bottoms of his wings and then right here if I press down on him. So we're going to do that. Oh, maybe I should try that Aleene's Industrial Strength. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use this after I cut it. Oh no, I forgot to get out my scissors. Well, here's these ones. I'll have to fetch the other ones later. Okay, we'll use that as a glue backdrop for now. I'm gonna try this industrial strength glue stick and see if it works. Because the only other thing I have is this tacky glue, which would probably work, but I'm not sure. And then I have this glue, but this one is like a precision tip thing that I want to use for doing my own diamond art pictures, so I don't really want to waste that. So we're going to try this, and then if worst case scenario, I have to come back and re-glue it later. It'll be fine. So I'm going to try. I'm really hoping you'll still be able to hear me, but I gotta move my mic down a little. I keep bonking it and it's kind of annoying. Okay. That seems very soft. I don't know. But I want this guy to go here, and I don't know why. Just go with it. Okay. And then I'm gonna put this guy, because he's heavy, on top for a few minutes. And hopefully it, oh, I broke it. That's okay. You know what? That works. Because now it'll stay put more. Maybe, in theory. Okay. And then I have this little leaf that I think is adorable. I need to put the leaf on there. And we'll just stick him here. Okay. And then what else do I have that I've been collecting? Oh, I have a few feathers. That one's kind of sprinkled, and there's a story to that. I'll be right back for that story. There's another feather. I think I've got just this little box here, in case you're wondering what I'm messing around with. And I've got feathers that I kind of like put between paper and what are these? All I can think of is Q-tips. Wow, my brain. Paper clips. There we go. Wow. Okay, then I got some feathers in here that might be cool. Like those two. That's good enough. This isn't probably the best way of storing these, but I was trying to protect them a little. So this funny story, and it's not funny, it's aggravating, but it's probably funny to those that get it. My husband found this feather for me outside our house, and well, you know what? That's not a feather I found, so I'll probably not put this one in the journal. But anyway, he found this feather for me outside our house, and he put it on my desk, but the table, the Friffle Table. And a couple of days later, I hadn't actually sat down at the Friffle Table in a few days, so I hadn't put it away. And a few days later, I found it out in the hallway, as if the puppy had chewed it up. You know, you can see it's very like smushed and annoying. And well, you might not be able to see it. There you go. Now you can see it. And so I was kind of irritated at the puppy. And then I got thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? No, wait a minute. There is no way that that tiny little, 4 pounds at the time puppy got up on my Friffle Table and stole the feather. Like, it had to have gotten on the floor somehow. And the only one that gets up on the table is my husband's cat, Peaches. And she loves the table. She sits in the corner and looks out the window and soaks in all the sunbeams during the day. So anyway, a few days later, the puppy is running around my office with one of these. I don't remember which one it was, but it doesn't matter. One of these little, they're those tiny little Velcros that I talk about a lot, that I love, little circles. I have 2 pieces of them that, the 2 sides that go together, and I had left them on the Friffle Table, the day before or something. And she's running around trying to chew it up. And I grab it and I'm like, how the heck did you get that? And I turn around and I wish I had my camera available, because Peaches is sitting right over there at the corner of my Friffle Table with the second one of these in her paw like this, because she's got, what do you call that? Double pawed or whatever. She's got like that extra thumb thing, and she actually uses it like a thumb. She'll pick up like pens and pencils and whatever, and she's got it like this, getting ready to huck it down to the dog. I'm like, oh, you little brat. So that's how my feather got destroyed. But I'm saving it because it's my feather. But we won't put it on this page because, as I just said when I remembered the story, my husband found that one, not me. So we'll use that on a different page. I want this one to be all things that I've found. So I'm gonna move my stuff over here just a little bit so I can get to this page too, because I want to decorate like both pages at the same time. So we'll put this feather over here somewhere, and I'm thinking I might just use liquid glue for this one. We'll just swap this out for that. Bonk. There we go. Now, it would probably fit on the page better that way, but we're going to do it this way and hope for the best, because this way's got all the color. Okay. And now I'm kind of running out of heavy things that I can put on these. So, anyway, where do we want this feather? You know what, how about smack dab in the middle, because why not? And then we'll take this off the other one and use it here. Bonk. We'll use that as a weight. Okay. And then this white feather, you can barely see it on the page, but I don't care. It's my feather. And this little black one is adorable. Okay, we're gonna do the little black one next, I think. Or gray, or whatever color you want to call this. Good enough. It's so fluffy. I love fluffy feathers. Let's do one this way. This one I should be able to just press down and leave because it's very thin and flat. There we go. Now, if I was, you know, planning accordingly, I would have written down the dates that I found these. But I don't remember. I could probably look up the date I found this one and this one, because I found them on the same day and I know where it was that day. And I took pictures that day. And I know I found this one today. But I don't know about this one or that one. Or the rest of what I've got. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, that seems to be staying, so that's good. Okay, where do we want this feather? I wonder if up here would make like a good, like a border. Why not? I ain't chasing no perfection or aesthetic, whatever. I'm just having fun. And it's kind of memory keeping, I guess. Yeah, we'll put it like right there. Okay, I think this one I can just press down too, because again, this one was very flat. Yay! Okay, what else did I have to go on here? Oh, right. I'm not sure that I'm going to use all of them, but I do have these little pieces of very thin bark that I was going to put in here. Now it's probably going to fall apart on me, but that's okay. It will not be the end of the world, I promise. My feather does not really want to stay, so we're going to try to glue right here. And then, oop, not that, slip this down like that. I think this needs a piece of paper towel. To go like that. There, we'll try that. Okay, now I've got a lot on this page and almost nothing on this page, so I think this little piece of bark would look really good right there. Very nice. I'm gonna have to get some sort of like a plastic thing that I can cover these pages with. Maybe I can like fashion some sort of plastic baggie or something just until I'm done with them or something. Just so they don't like ruin each other when I close it. We'll see what I can come up with. I wonder if this could help hold that down for a minute. Okay, now would like a piece of bark over here, but I'm thinking this one, instead of showing like the mossy side, I think I'm gonna flip it over and show the inside texture, which is really cool. Hopefully you could actually see that. How about right there? That looks good. I'm running out of heavy things, man. I don't know if that's heavy enough, but we'll try it. Okay, now this is my last piece of bark, and he's pretty thin and flimsy, but he's really cool. I think he'd be a really cool piece for that top corner. So we're gonna go for it. Although I don't know though, because that's a really cool piece there too. Oh no, it's breaking apart on me. We're just gonna go for it. Why not? The most it does is it falls apart. Who cares? Not me. Because I have more fun making this stuff than I do looking at it. So it's all good. And we're gonna use this kind of like we did the feather over there. We're gonna use it as kind of like a corner piece frame. Like that. Then we're gonna borrow this from the feather. I think I glued it to it. Oops. I'm gonna gently borrow that from the feather. Now we're gonna put that on top of there. Like that. Actually, I think this jar of water weighs a little more. So let's try that instead. There. Okay, now I have a couple more things in here. In this bag. I'm gonna dump these out. Okay. In case you can't tell, they're rocks. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you in just a tad. I said in. In. Haha, I was doing it wrong. That's on me. Okay, this was rocks. I'm gonna put the big ones that I saved back in there. I saved some that were cool colors, but look at this one, okay? I don't know about you, but I saw a star. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a star? See? Point, 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 and point. It looks like a freaking star to me. That's why I saved that one. I thought he was cool. But these ones are even cooler because they are so thin. This one's not quite as thin, so I might not use this one. We'll put that one aside for now. But these ones are so teeny tiny and so thin that I can absolutely put rocks in my journal. And as a girl who has picked up rocks on like every nature walk ever, that's pretty exciting to me. Yep, it is. So if that's exciting to you too, we should be friends, like really good friends. Oh, hey, this one looks like a heart. Oh, look, it looks like a heart. That's adorable. That's going in here. We're gonna make that kind of like the center focal point over here. How about that? And then we need to put a few more things over here because this one's kind of empty. Maybe like that. And then put this little bitty piece over here. Like that. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go back to our handy dandy liquid glue again. This is probably the most exciting thing I've added into this journal so far. Oh, you know what? It's going there. It decided on its own. It's going there. And oh no, you can't see what I'm doing. Let's scooch the candle up. Move some of my stuff over. Whoosh. Ta-da. Okay, now you can mostly see. Now, I will say, when I'm out on like the 4-wheeler trails and we're out there for, 4 or 5 hours ish. And so I do a lot of thinking. And there was a lesson that popped in my brain while we were out yesterday. and I'm going to share it with you. And this is just, personal thoughts that popped in my brain. I'm just showing you a glimpse inside of my brain yesterday. And that was, know your worth. Know your worth and believe it no matter what. Like, whether we're talking job, relationship, whatever, just because somebody else doesn't show you your worth, or just because someone else doesn't see your worth or appreciate your worth, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Doesn't mean that it's not there. Maybe you've gone to a place where you've kind of started to believe you don't have any worth, and so you feel like there's nothing there to see, but there is. Everybody has their worth. Everybody has, I don't know how else to say it, like good qualities and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of goes, I'm going to take a pause for a minute and go off on a little tangent here for a second. It kind of goes hand in hand. I hear the statement all the time of, when talking about relationships, what does he or she bring to the table? And in most of the spaces that I've seen that question posed, almost everybody talks about, how do I word it for YouTube? We'll say adult theme, purpose, or they bring up job, income kind of thing, income. And or they bring up somebody that takes care of, everything or whatever. And I don't know how else to word that, but usually it's the adult side of things, and income is what you hear most people say when they're talking about it. And as a chronically ill person who has not been able to hold a job in years, I've tried a few times over the years, but has not had an actual full-time job in years. So I don't bring, income to the table. I felt like for a long time, what do I bring to the table? There's nothing left, And for years, I have fought with my self-worth and felt worthless and useless and, all the things. Because I also, chronic illness, I struggle to keep up with housework and stuff like that. And so, anyway, that's led to a lot of years of frustration and depression and grief, even over the life I wanted or should have had or whatever. And it's only been in the past few weeks that I've started to have this thought of, and maybe this isn't new to anybody else, I don't know, but in myself, it's not, that saying of what you bring to the table is really frustrating when people only go to those major big things. But that's not what life is, Life isn't just those things. And there's a lot more that somebody can bring to the table, Somebody can bring love, kindness, creativity, spontaneity, fun, like the list goes on and on and on. And I feel like that really ties back into know your worth. Know your worth, because that stupid saying can bring down so many people to such a bad place when those same people have so much to offer the world, or, a partner if we're talking about relationships. It's just, I don't know. It's a thought that was been running on my brain lately. And yesterday it really hit me while I was out. And the major part is, just because somebody else can't see your worth does not mean that it doesn't exist. So find it, figure it out, learn it, whatever you need to do to believe it yourself that you have worth, and then don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Just don't. Anyway, I will get off my little tangent now, and we will go back to this page. Thanks for listening. There, sorry, I had bark dust all over it. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any more friffles that are like nature related that I could add in here yet. I had some leaves, but if I'm brutally honest, I don't remember what I did with them. So I think we're gonna call this page done for the moment. We're gonna take off all the little pieces and see if, excuse me, see if they're gonna stay. Oh wait, I've got one more little mini tangent that I have to get on. Did you grab your hydration? I forgot to ask you. Did you grab your hydration? I do. I have, what do I have? Strawberry watermelon. I have strawberry watermelon. So we're gonna take a second, we're gonna take a break and go get your drink and get hydrated, because that's important. We do not need dehydrated people here. So go get a drink and I will be right back. Okay. Let me fix my camera remote that turned off here. All right, I'm gonna zoom you out just a tinsy. So you're back to seeing the whole thing here. I'm gonna start picking up the mess that I made here. And we'll put that away. Throw that away. I think that can go there. That can go there. In just a second, I'm gonna grab, reach them without landing on my head. They were practically on the floor in a pocket. Let's just grab my little scissors so I can put them back in here. Yeah, okay. Now we're gonna see, in case you're wondering, why I have a jar of water on my desk. It's a very strange thing to have. It's probably a really, really, really dumb idea, but I like to collect jars of water sometimes at different like lakes or rivers that we go to when we're out, and then I bring it home and I use it when I'm doing watercolor art, just because I think it adds like an extra special touch. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like being crazy, but that's okay. Okay. And then we got that piece. Looks like they're all staying, you know. Here's to hoping. And I think I will mark this with the dates. I'm gonna put one date over here and then the date that I finish filling it over here. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna have to move it over. Where are you? Go away. I'm gonna have to move it over because I already put that there and it's in the way for the stamper. So I'm just gonna go over a little. There. And then we'll post the other one over here. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave this one alone for now. But I'm going to get, maybe I'll just use a paper towel for now. I think I'm gonna use a paper towel. I'm just gonna like set it in there so that when I turn the page, it's not gonna like ruin anything. I think the plastic would be better, but I don't have a plastic up here, I don't think. You know what? I don't have a plastic up here, but I do have a plastic cutting board. that will work for today until I can go downstairs and get a bag, plastic wrap, whatever. Okay, so we're just gonna set this in here for now, for today, so that I can move on and decorate. Okay. Now, I'm thinking we're gonna do another 2-page spread. I don't normally do 2-page spreads. I really don't. But I have these friffles that I would like to use. And these are, they look like stickers, and they kind of are stickers, but I'm gonna try to zoom you up here. They are, I don't know if you can hear that. They are tub, what do you call them? Like tub stickers, so you don't fall. And my mom bought them for our shower downstairs, and they were cute, so I kept a couple. And so I thought maybe if we like spread these, I might like cut that one in half so it goes over there. I thought if I like spread them like, I don't know, like that-ish, and then added some of these smiley faces, and then color coded the pens that we use when I fill it in later tonight. I thought that would be cool. So let's very gently go back to my test page. There we go. So that we can test out some markers and see which color is gonna work best. Oh, you know what, we'll just stick this here and do one at a time. Okay, that's kind of, it's representing pink. And we're gonna put this up here so I can see this too, because they're not the same, but if I can find something that kinda, see, that goes with that, but not that. It needs to be a little darker. How about this one? Ah, see, that's a good color. Okay, so we're gonna do that one. You can see it. It's that color. Now for blue, there's that blue and that blue. Let's start out with this one and see where we need to go. See, that fits that exactly, but not really that. It needs to be just a touch of aqua. Now that fits that exactly, but not that. Ah! Okay, you know what? We're gonna match it to the smileys. Does this match the smiley? Mostly. Okay. So now, oh, so, well, you know what? I'm gonna put it up there just so I can see. So that one goes there, that one goes back up here. Okay, so the green is like this. You know what? Close enough. We'll go with it. And then the purple is a really dark purple, so this is going to be kind of hard. Oh, look, that wasn't hard at all. First try. Okay, so here, I'm going to set these aside so that later tonight when I sit down, I'm trying to get into a habit, which habit and ADHD don't really go together, but I'm trying to get into a habit of starting like a nighttime routine before bed where it's like screens off and I just sit down and journal. That way I can like get shit out of my brain. Ooh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry, I really, really, really try not to swear on here. I really do. So I can get crap out of my brain. And so I will set these aside so that tonight when I sit down to journal, I have pages to fill in. Because I'm no longer going to fill pages in on camera for the most part. That way I don't have to sit there and try to remember to blur everything. So anyway, those are the colors we're going to use. All right, I believe I hear Jade trying to come in. Jade, huh? You can come in, baby, but I am recording and the fan is on, so be careful when you come in the door.
Okay, I was just trying to give you something real quick. I made for you.
Ooh, you made me something?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hold on. I got flower stickers going everywhere. A ticket. Watching Bones 2 episodes with dinner with no lights on.
And I'll make dinner.
Is this for me to turn in?
Yes.
Oh, and you're gonna make dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Okay. I will do that. I will turn the ticket in tonight.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it expires tonight.
Yeah.
Keepy. Friffle.
Oh, you want me to keep it as a friffle? Okay. Thank you. I like friffles.
I tried hard with the little scissors to try and make that ripped ticket look like it came
That's
out
really cool.
the machine.
Yep. Yep, that was really cool. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Put it up there so I remember to use it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Me.
Did you want to sit down and do some crafty stuff? Or you got stuff to do?
I have nothing to do, but I also don't want to do crafty.
Okay, just checking. Have fun.
Thank you.
Okay, how do I want to do this? Like that. That looks kind of like choreographed, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, actually. Now, I want to test a theory here. Hopefully without ruining anything. Okay, well, that sticker is toast. And that sticker is toast. And that sticker is toast. Okay. Go in there. I wonder if you could put this in the middle as the flower middles. Oh, you could. I like that. Now, will they stay? I don't know. Who knows? But that looks cute. Okay. So we're doing that. That is such a better idea than what I had originally. So that's cool. And then, do I want to there we go. Do I want to add some stickers around the page? Like, we could add that there and that. Oh, it's going there now. And we could add that one up there. And then we could add that one down there. I feel like that one should have gone like up there. You know what? I don't like that. I like that, but I like that for a different page. So we might do that, you know, on a different page. Just a random assortment of round circle smileys would be really cool. But on here, I think I just want the flowers and then the writing. That way I have plenty of room for the writing. And I think I am going to keep it like, I don't know, choreographed or whatever word is the right word, where they're like the same on both sides. That way it gives me a place to, you know, use the pink marker to there and then the blue marker to there, you know, etc., etc. Or, oh, I just had another idea. What if, let's undo this. What if we use the green smiley on the pink one, the blue smiley on the purple one, the purple one on the green one, and the pink one on the blue one. What if we did that? I don't like it. I hate it. Okay. Don't like it. I don't like it. It looks funny. Okay, and we're gonna toss those stickers out and get new ones just so that they're extra sticky. Yep, I definitely like it better when they match. Okay, and I think I would like to do, do I want to do these colors? Yes, but I think I'm going to do pink up here. Now I got to try to get the backs off. Okay. There. And then I think we'll do wow, these are really tricky. We're gonna use the green over here. And then we're gonna put purple here. And then we'll put blue here. Okay. And then I wonder, right here. Now it's not quite the right colors, but I have this washi tape. I wonder if it would look good in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, would that look good? No, it wouldn't. It would not. I wonder if I have any other washi tape that would. Let's see here. I got lots of colors, but I don't see one really good universal one. That would work. Nah. Okay. It was worth a shot. But hold on. I just accidentally spied something. What about that? No. Nope. Don't like it. Go away. Nope, I don't see anything else. Yeah, I think that's good. Not good. What if? Oh, hold on. Ow. What if we use this, like, calendar piecey thing that made for bullet journals and use these squares and made our own border that goes across using all of the colors all of the way across? Let's do that. So we're just gonna pick approximately in the middle because I'm not gonna measure. So I got a marker in my mouth, sorry. I probably should have done that. There we go. Every fourth one would be pink. So for this set, oop. See, like that, and just go all the way across. That would be really freaking cool. So then all we have to do is line that one up there and keep going. What? It's not going to take me that long. So I'm just going to leave this marker open instead of keep opening them all, because that's really frustrating. Oops. Tap the page. I got a blue spot right there. Am I gonna hide my blue spot? Nope. Because where's the sense in hiding teeny tiny little mistakes? Too much work. We're gonna move this over. So if that one's pink, then this one's gonna be pink. And that means this one's gonna be green. And this one's gonna be green. Which means this is the purple. And that means this is blue. Okay, now I'm gonna just move this over, I think, one. So it comes after green, purple. So we're gonna do that there. I think that's gonna be enough for that side. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so if we did purple there, let's see, we're doing, I think it's this one here. We need to flip this around for a second so that I can work with it. So I think it's this row here. Here we go. So if the first one was purple, then the next row is going to start. Which row are we doing here? This one, okay. Let's start with pink. So pink goes there and there. Blue. Green. Purple. Which makes this be purple. I'm almost done, I promise. How's your project coming out? What you working on? I bet it's gorgeous. I think we're gonna leave it like that. That was a lot of work just for a border. It's okay. It brought me a happy, so that is all that matters. There we go. Now we'll save this smiley face in case we can use it for something different. I'm wondering if we can do anything with these. I have a thought, but we're gonna hold on to that. So these are the markers we're gonna use on this page, and it's going to look fabulous. That brings me a happy. Now I can't wait to journal tonight. Look at that, we did it. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try my idea. I wonder if we can make a smiley face flower. These look like they're the same size circle. They are, look at that. I don't know what we're making, but we're doing it. Don't know what we're going to use them for, but those are cool. But what if, let's take, those don't really come off very easily, so we're just going to put those over there. What if we took I don't know what we're going to do with these, but these make a pretty interesting friffle. I don't know. We're gonna just go with it. I have no idea, but let's make another one because that was fun. This one we're gonna do the blue and purple. In case you didn't see it, these are just the backings off those flowers that we put in the page. And my brain went, hey, those like little loopies for the petals are the same size as those smileys. Let's do something with that knowledge. All right, now we have enough backings. We can make another one that is green and, do we want to do green and blue with pink and purple, or do we want to do blue and pink with green and purple? That's the one. So we're gonna do green and purple next. I'm gonna make both of these at the same time so that I don't have to keep going back and forth on this piece. Oop, nope, not quite. That one didn't quite line up all the way, but that's okay. Oopsie doopsie. Okay, so we need to skip, or break that off. We need to skip the green one and the pink one because those are all full. Now that one's all full. Whoop, I dropped it. We'll pick it up later. It's okay. There. Now I have zero clue what I'm going to do with these, but they look really neat. I have a thought. I'm going to turn this page just so we don't have to stare at that. I'll put these out here for a second. I have an idea. I want to see if it exists. I think it's in this bin. I had... Okay, I'm going to move this bin over so you can see what I'm friffling through. It's a bin full of gem stuff. And I don't remember what was in the back. Stickers, I guess. But I'm looking for the gems. Maybe that. We'll come back to that. That is what I was looking for. But they don't have all the colors. How sad for me. Didn't I buy a separate purple one though? I thought I did. I don't see it right here. I could have sworn I did. I could have sworn I bought a separate purple one because I realized I didn't have any purple gems. But if I did, I didn't put them away properly because I don't see them here. So, do we see anything we can work with here? What I was wondering is if you put like this in the middle with some little gems around it to make like the middle of the flower. Let's try it. What if you do green in the middle, because that's what I got, and then Are we sure we can't find our purple gems? Because that's going to irritate me because I thought I bought some specifically for that purpose. But I am not seeing them. And one would have assumed that that's where I would have done with them. I'm just going to friffle through the back here just in case they got put up here. Oh, that would have been unique too. I might take those out for a second. I am not seeing purple gems. I got green gems though. That might be useful. Blue ones that might be useful. Oh, wait a minute. I have a thought. Didn't say it was a good thought, but I have a thought. And yeah, I don't see the purple gems, so I might have to revisit that later. Okay, I have a thought. What if we take that green one out the middle, but we're gonna leave that there for the moment. We're gonna go to this one. What if I have these? I'm gonna zoom you in just a little since I moved that over. Don't fall over because I really don't want to pick up like 300 stickers. I'm gonna zoom you in just a little. I'm really hoping you're zoomed in because my camera has decided. There we go. Okay. Here's what I did with the first one, but I'm not liking that. But I don't have enough of one thing in the right colors to work. What if I put the middle as a mirror gem and then outlined it? See, I can't outline it in the colors that's on here because I do not have purple freaking gems. However, I could outline it in crystals, which I think it would match better, but it would be boring. Or I could outline it in yellow, which would be like the center of a flower. So I think I'm gonna go with the yellow. We're gonna try it and see what it looks like. We're gonna try to do it in 2s on each side. See how that looks. I actually kind of like that. It's different. It's a smiley flower thing. Now, I kind of wonder if I should put one up in these spaces. Let's try it. You can't no more than be a bad idea. I was thinking if we did one, whoop, like that. It would give it like a starbursty kind of look. Ooh, yeah, I like that. See, that's what we're doing. Ta-da! You know what I just realized? I never even turned my light on. Goofball. Yep, you know what? The light's staying off because it's going to reflect on everything. Well, there you go. All right, I'm going to pause here for a second and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. My apologies. I needed to use my phone real quick. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Don't remember if I said this before I paused the camera, but let's grab a water drink real quick. Okay, now I think I'm going to go back to this and make these all the same. And now I've made a mess. That's what I've done. Okay, you can go over there because we're not going to use you. And we're not going to use you. And then you can go back on there because we're not going to use you. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, so let's put that over there as our example. And let's put our gonna go like that. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. All right. Let's put this away. Now let's recreate these. You know, when I was doing that nature page earlier, I forgot to ask you, are you the kind of person that likes to pick up rocks? Or just nature finds in general, when you're able to get out in nature? I've done it ever since I was a little kid. I think my favorite is rocks. And then my next favorite thing is feathers. But I like to pick up interesting little sticks or, you know, whatever. Anything, leaves, anything that's interesting looking. Okay, now these gems aren't like exactly lined up, so a couple of them are a little wonky, but that's okay. We don't go for perfection here at the Friffle Table. All right. Now I have no idea what we're calling these because they're like a sunburst and a flower all in one, and smileys. So if you have any creative names, I could use some help on that one. Not that I'll ever recreate these, but it's been fun. That's my whole point. Now I have one single one on the end of this line, so we're gonna put the first single one in there, like that. I'm gonna go back to our twos. Stay. There we go. almost there. Every time I say something like that, it reminds me of some kind of, I assume, kids show that my daughter used to watch. That I swear, it's like a jingle stuck in my head that said something to the effect of, "It's been a long journey, but we're almost home." And I cannot, for the life of me, I have tried every form of Google phrase to try to figure out what show that was from. And I can't figure it out. So if you know that too, that would be really helpful. That has been breaking my brain for weeks now, ever since it popped in there. I tried like the Backyardigans, because it's almost like that like kitty sounding voice, but I couldn't find it there. And then the other one I thought of was Just in Time, and I couldn't find it there. Like, it's driving me batty. It's one of those, I don't know, I don't remember what they're called. They're ear somethings or something like that. I call them ear niggles. I don't know. It's like it just plays over and over in your head. Just that one, like, 2 seconds of the song. But anyway, I'm gonna bring you up close so you can see these. Look how pretty. Look at the pretty. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be a friffle in my journal in the next few days. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put them in the to be done soon bin so I don't lose track of them, but I don't want to put them like right here, because we have the other smileys there. So I'll give it a break from the smileys for a few days, but that's the other one. See, wouldn't that look pretty on a page? I don't know. I don't know what to do with them exactly, but I feel like they're really pretty. That one over there. See? Ta-da! I have no idea. They're just colorful and shiny, and I like it. So that's going up there. I think I have used a lot of your time today, but it's been fun, right? Right? So I think I'm going to let you go home for now, but I will remind you that you do need to go get your hydration. Don't forget it, okay? Okay. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.